Every piece of media in the self-improvement industry is watched or consumed for one reason and one reason only. And it's because people want results in their lives. By results, what do I mean? I mean money. They want a lot of money. People want to be rich. That's the truth. Two, they want relationships that are healthy and happy. And they want health. They want health. They want to be healthy. And these are the main three categories of results that we see. And when we look at the content that most people are consuming, we see a trend that I don't think a lot of people are talking about right now. But the trend in the content that does the best is that the content that performs the best on social media is the most specific to a certain result. Because people want to feel more reassured that when they invest, whether it's a paid course or whether it's free, they're investing time into the content that they're consuming, right? So when people are investing in consuming some type of media that's supposed to get them better, they want it to be most applicable to their lives in form of results. They're investing time or money and they want results back. Now, the reason that I'm talking about this is because I think this is a little messed up. For the most part, the content that's performing the best is strategy-based. We're looking at people selling courses on YouTube automation, Amazon FBA, drop shipping, and high-ticket sales, right? All these strategies on how to make money. But in interviewing over 100 successful people and talking to so many more people that have done amazing things in their lives, whether it be that they're incredibly healthy, incredibly happy, incredibly wealthy, they have great relationships. These people, you often find that they're multidisciplinary in their success, where when they go to one thing, they're successful, they go to the other, they're successful, they seem completely unrelated. Why does the person with a lot of money have great friendships, right? Why does the person who made a lot of money in sales go and make a ton of money in podcasting, right? Why is this the way it is? And it's because there's one thing that kind of goes over all of that. There's one thing that's omnipresent among every discipline, and it's your mindset. Bob Proctor talks about how success is 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. And you see, in our world of endless personal development, endless scrolling and scrolling and scrolling of just looking for the next fix, what's going to get me that result quickest, most of us are ignoring mindset. If we watch something on mindset, it's a quick 60-second soundbite that we don't really implement into our actual mindset. But you have to understand is that the thoughts that you're thinking are over 90% the same of what you were thinking yesterday. And if you want to change your mindset to be the person that can be successful in any discipline, then you have to work on your mindset before you work on the strategy. There's a great example of this, which is Grant Cardone in Undercover Billionaire, when I think it was over COVID, and he was just dropped in the middle of nowhere, and he had to build a $1 million business in 90 days, and he destroyed it. Right? And why is someone able to do that? A lot of you are going to say, well, it's the experience he has. It's the connections he has. No. It's the mindset that he has. Why are so many people able to just be successful in any discipline? It's because they're able to apply the same mindset that they used over here. And that is why I believe what I'm teaching is so vitally important to you. It's so vitally important to me. It's so vitally important to everybody. It's because, sorry, I got an itchy nose right here. It's because our mindset and our gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude, going into things, being grateful for them, using the duality of gratitude and ambition to our advantage is applicable everywhere in your life. Literally everywhere in your life. Because the truth is, you set goals everywhere in your life. Even if you're not consciously aware of it. Yes, obviously you probably have financial goals that are at the forefront of your mind, but do you think about the goals that you have in your relationships? Do you think about the goals that you have in your health? Health is becoming much more dominant now, but we all have these goals and we all want certain things. You just have to be clear on what you want. Not many people know what they really do want, but once you understand the things that you're always wanting, you realize that you do have these goals. And that's where you can use gratitude. That's where you can use your mindset to help achieve them and become a multidisciplinary person. It's so true. And just talking about it right now, I realize how resonant this is. When we look back, for those of you that have been listening and following the podcast for a really long time, when we look back at the guests that I've had on and their success, you can pick apart little snippets of the things that they say that are applicable for everyone, right? Of the very successful people, a lot of them have some of the same habits, even if they're doing incredibly different things, right? You think about David Meltzer. He has over $100 million. I bet most of you listening to this can't even fathom $100 million, right? But David, who did that, had some of the same habits as some of the other very successful people that we've looked into, such as Hala Taha, right? Or John R. Miles, where they're spending time with their family, and then they have dedicated work time. And then they have time where they're looking at their goals. And one thing I've talked off camera to many of these people about is having your goals written down. Biggest hindrance toward me making progress to my goals is my inability to monotask. When I'm doing something and I'm not making progress on it, I'll instantly switch to another thing. And then I don't make progress on that and I switch to another, perpetuating this cycle. And on top of this, I've had some bad brain fog due to some concussions I've had in the past. But in the past week, this has all changed because this amazing company, Magic Mind, sent me 15 of these mental performance shots they have, and they've made such a big difference. I've had one each of the past 7 days, and it's really made me be able to finish tasks before I move on to the next. I have concentration that lasts longer because of the caffeine that doesn't just hit you all at once, but it actually hits you continuously over a 4-hour time period. It's made such a difference in my productivity, and I'd love for you guys to get to try it out. So if you use Wagoner20, the code Wagoner20 at checkout, it'll be in the description as well. You can get 20% off these shots and 48% off a bundle of 30 of them. I have a goal card I keep with me. I got this from Bob Proctor. I have a card right here that I keep in my pocket every day. And I have a little sleeve I use to keep it safe. And that's always to remind me of my goal. And these are newer habits. But I've realized that a lot of this podcast and a lot of what you guys are doing as consumers of this podcast is gathering knowledge, right? But knowledge, I'm realizing even more, and you should too, knowledge doesn't mean anything if it's not applied. Think back to the Nick Hutchinson episode we did back in March, right? His thing was applied knowledge. He said books are great and reading books is great, but you have to apply what you read in those books. You have to apply it to your future to keep getting results and keep getting results, right? So many of us are caught in this endless loop of knowledge. Honestly, I believe that we are smarter as humans than we have been in a really long time. A lot of us know so much about random things. We know a little bit about everything. But is that really who you want to be? Listen to me right now. Take me seriously when I ask you, is that really who you want to be? Do you want to be someone that knows a little bit about everything or someone that knows a lot about one thing? And I know for me, for a while, I was confused. I was like, where am I going to spend my energy? Where am I going to learn a lot about one thing? I feel like I know a lot about a lot of different things. So what's that one thing that I'm going to learn a lot about? And you know what? It ended up being exactly what I'm talking to you about right now. I've realized that all these books I have up here on my shelf, all the classes I'm taking, the one common thread, all these conversations I'm having on this podcast, the common thread is learning how we can live more fulfilled lives from our mind, right? Our mindset and gratitude and the things that make us more joyful and feel more alive. I feel so alive right now. just talking to you guys, because this is what lights me up. This is what lights me up. I'm talking to my computer screen right now. There's a webcam on top of my computer screen. I only see myself. And yet I'm so excited knowing that there are dozens of people, if not 100 or more people, that are going to be listening to me and hopefully feel inspired by this to take some action. And stop just taking knowledge and loving it in their brain. It's almost like this self-improvement masturbation that's happening. I'm sorry about that dinging noise. I meant to turn off my notifications. It's almost as if there's this self-improvement masturbation almost, where people are just addicted to learning more and getting that quick hit of dopamine that makes them feel like they're accomplishing something. But you wake up the next day and you've done nothing to get you toward that goal. You learned a little bit of information, but you're scattered. You're scattered because you're getting information from so many sources. There's so many people online right now. There's so many people online. I know that when I was younger, and I'm guessing a lot of you are going to relate to this, whether it's in school or in sports, I had a year of baseball where I was on 3 different teams, and each of the teams had multiple coaches, and all the coaches had great advice for me. They all wanted me to be a better player because they wanted their team to be better, and they wanted me to be better because they were just great people. But they all told me different things, right? Some would say, now, Jack, I think your stance needs to be a little more open. Stance really doesn't matter, but okay. One guy wanted me to hit with my elbow up so I could get to the ball faster. Bad advice. Catching wise, some people wanted me to go straight down my block. Some people wanted me to come forward. And although some of you listening to this have no clue what I'm talking about, the point is, when you're getting a ton of information from people that mean well, right? From people that are trying to help you, you still end up confused, because after all that stuff, I'm like, I don't feel like I got better. I just feel like I got a bunch of information. I don't know what to apply now, so I'm just going to stay put where I am, because all this information is kind of scaring me. I don't know who's right, so the easiest thing for me to do is just do what I'm doing, because, I'm playing all right now. I'm doing all right in my life right now, and that is where you get stuck, because as we talk about in the duality of gratitude and ambition, right? We always are wanting to move forward. That's our tendency, to move forward in life, to grow. And we can be grateful for where we are right now because we realize that that's the sum of our past experiences, but we still have to go forward. Right now, you're probably not satisfied. If you're listening to this podcast, I want you to realize that you're probably not satisfied, and I'm not. And that's why I'm making this content, because I want to move forward. I want to improve in my life. There are things that I want to get better. There are things I want to make better. I love my life, but I want it to get better. And that's okay. That's actually great. That is amazing. But in order to do that, you can't listen to advice from 20 different people and expect to get better. You're not going to apply it. You're not going to apply it. So what I recommend, what I've been doing recently, why I've had less interviews, and we'll be completely transparent on this, the reason that episodes haven't been as abundant recently is because I've been in a learning stage myself. And I'm trying to learn from one specific group of people, one specific individual, so that I can apply stuff, make real progress, and then help you guys out. So this is a quick little episode, a solo episode. We're going to get back to them. Episodes every week. I'm no more of this BS of me not publishing an episode in a week. We've had like 3 weeks like that at some point in the past month and a half. And that's no more, because you guys are a priority to me. This is a priority to me. I'll be honest here. I've been a little bit disheartened by the amount of people out there with much more reach than me, much more capital than me, that are starting podcasts and that are promoting them with incredible distribution, incredible marketing teams. It's a little bit disheartening because, honestly, I think I'm better than all of them. But what I have to realize is I'm not going to be better than all of them if I get disheartened, if I let it get to me. Because I love doing this, and it doesn't need to be right now the biggest thing in the world. And eventually, I believe we'll get there. But, it takes time, and I'm an impatient person, as I imagine many of you are. I'm very impatient. I'm patient in some ways, right? But I'm also very impatient. And I compare myself to people. I compare myself to the people that I want to be like. And when it's constantly like no progress that you're seeing externally, it's hard. But you guys have been very supportive. And I know how much you love the show. And I know how much I love it. So I really hope you stay grateful. I'd love to hear in the comments or in the DMs what you're grateful for right now. I know that I'm just so grateful for my family. So grateful for my family. I'm so lucky to have an amazing, amazing family. My sister just visited me here in London for the weekend. It was her 16th birthday. She's amazing. We had so much fun. I got to show her around. It was her first time in another country without parents, which felt freeing, as amazing as our parents are. I know the feeling of being away and feeling free like that. My parents are amazing. I had a great Christmas break with them. So yeah, I've just been really cherishing family because not everyone has it. So if you're someone with family, man, just tell them you're grateful for them. Telling people you're grateful for them is an incredible feeling. All right, I love you guys. It's been great to do this again, and I'll see you next week for another amazing episode. Stay grateful.